Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Wood. I live near Desrano, Ontario. I am a full physical, identity theft, identity stolen, skull split, brain injury, body mutilation, kidnap, blood and piss stolen, sex assaulted, falsely arrested, medically blacklisted, file falsified, discriminated against, tortured, injured, stalked, attempted murder victim for revenge retaliation through very seriously dangerous Ontario Provincial Police for me speaking of their crimes, human trafficking, and homeless exploitation for monetary gain out of a place called the Morning Star Mission. August of 2019, I was shot by XOPP chief in a white Jeep Wrangler, him and somebody in a black truck before he left NAPANEE. Those guilty of human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, false arrest, torture crimes, guilty of domestic terrorism, guilty of having me medically blacklisted, also to ensure crimes with their accomplices. Once again, XOPP chief or commander, he is guilty of attempted homicide with intent to commit. Staff sergeants, years 2019, 2021, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Shannon Cork, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Robert Lucas, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Dave Weiss, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Constable Ward, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Stacy, a mental health worker, was NAPANEE Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, and she's also O.p.p, I think. Guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Shelley Hafner, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit, guilty of having me kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after me asking for help with what has taken place with me. Stalking, injuring, torturing, full deforming, once again, while being medically blacklisted through criminal doctor Dr. Margie V, she goes by. Real name, Dr. Tatiana Vakadinovic. Girlfriend to Stacy, Kingston AMHS. The one that falsified my medical file. The one that assured I got discriminated against to not be taken serious and to prevent me help. The one that got me medically blacklisted with criminal negligence and intent to commit and cover up. Other very seriously dangerous doctors at Lennox and Addington Hospital who are guilty of co-committing with criminal negligence and intent to commit and cover up for themselves, for OPP, their accomplices, and everyone else. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Waldron, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. McGregor, ex-CEO Cubby Duck, Patient Relations Brown, Triage Nurses Terry, Tanya David. They are all very seriously dangerous. They are all guilty of very serious crimes against me. Medically blacklisted me, name calling, treatment refusals, discrimination through Dr. Tatiana V's falsified file against me to prevent me help and proof of what has happened to me after I was shot. Giving my original CAT scans away to one Stacy. Dr. Tatiana V is guilty of giving my CAT scans away, original ones from November of 2019, to one Stacy, her girlfriend, and one Spencer Mills, OPP 14716. This is premeditated and conspired against me for revenge. They're accomplices, they're co-offenders, they're untouchables in NAPANEE who are guilty of murders, attempted murders, my identity theft with the intent to commit, with the intent to frame, and with the intent to murder. And I say that without any kind of paranoia. I say that from provable crimes that has been taking place with me with 100% proof and not being able to do anything about it. One guy known as Bill Woldridge, he used to stalk children for XOPP, chief or commander for sex slavery trafficking. Approximately 70 years old, bald glasses. He has many alias names. He goes by Bill Woldridge, Bill Coolidge, Bill Delarosable. He goes by James Bubbles, Stephen Mavis, which is a wanted inmate walkaway escapee, the name of one of his alias names, and Robert Cross. He lives on Center Street in NAPANEE. O.p.p. are very well aware of where he lives. Highly protected, untouchable, guilty of criminally stalking my mother and causing her death December 20th, 2020 for O.p.p. Spencer Mills and Stacy, the mental health worker. He thinks that he and I were switched at birth. He believes that he is my dad and he was stalking my mother and calling my mother mom. He is a heroin addict as well, a child sex offender, and he is very highly protected by O.p.p, of course. Blair Frederick Hardy, he is guilty of torture crimes. He's guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit. He is guilty of rapes. He's guilty of welfare, disability, financial thefts and frauds, bank frauds, torture crimes. He is a meth trafficker. He sells laced meth. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. These are all O.p.p. drug-fed, money-paid pieces of shit who get free drugs, drop charges, and immunity for the crimes that they are guilty of and committing. This is why nobody can be arrested. Also, the $22,000 extortion to have it done against them and anyone else. There is Bert the Hitman Hustler. He is guilty of torture crimes, my identity theft, being involved with my identity theft. He is guilty of attempted murder, brain injuring me with the intent to commit. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne, he is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity, disability, and welfare fraud. He's guilty of multiple homicides. He sells laced fentanyl between NAPANEE and Kingston, causing overdoses, and the murders are being covered up as just overdoses. Well, and it's being done with intent. Robert Berry, he is a sex slave trafficker. He is a sex offender. He is a serial killer truck driver. His boyfriend, Robert, he is a AIDS victim. He is an AIDS spreader. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft. Tyler Teabag Lake, he is Robert Kane 7224's number one rat informant. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He's guilty of being involved with my identity theft, brain injuring me, body mutilations. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog Runt in March of 2023. Raymond LeBlanc, he is guilty of criminal stalking. He is guilty of torture crimes. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft, brain injuring, and torture crimes. He's guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. He is a child groomer as well. Dale Hartwick, he is guilty of my identity theft. He is guilty of brain injuring me. He is guilty of torture crimes. He is guilty of attempted murder with the intent to commit homicide for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife or ex-wife's boyfriend. He is a speedhead. He is dying of cirrhosis of the liver, so he don't care who he kills. His boyfriend or wife or husband, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, he is guilty of attempted paralyzing me. He is guilty of sex assault. He is guilty of injuring me, brain injuring me. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. 5 years revenge retaliation against me while going through provable crimes, provable tortures, provable identity changes, and not being able to do anything about it. Time has been bought, damage has been done, being blamed for the crimes against me with 100% proof, and still being medically blacklisted. If I want medical help, I have to go to Quebec, I have to go down east, or I have to go to Manitoba, which I cannot afford to do. So congratulations, Dr. Tatiana V, for having me medically blacklisted and assuring all crimes against me, helping and aiding your girlfriend Stacy and everyone else in their crimes when people disappear. It is through Ontario Provincial Police. It is through criminal negligent doctors who are guilty of co-committing and covering up crimes with and for themselves and the police. They are guilty of covering up crimes also for low-life ex-inmate psych ward, junkie fall down, low-life pieces of shit accomplices with and for OPP, very seriously organized. The justice of the peace is also involved. Intimidations, accusations, and threats and false arrest to prevent anything legal on her. The day I went to get private prosecution to have it done on her and everyone else, it was done to me before I had a chance to file. When people disappear in NAPANEE or anyone else, anywhere else, it is through the police, it is through criminal doctors, it is through their accomplices. The lies, the time buying, the cover ups, the provable injuring, the provable deforming will do you no good. My medical rights, my legal rights, my human rights have been taken from me while I have been going through this, and not being able to get the arrest because it involves police, it involves very serious criminal doctors and their accomplices. I don't have the $22,000. As I said, poor, homeless, elderly, disabled. Be aware and be very careful because OPP and the doctors in NAPANEE have no concern for life in any way, shape, or form. They are guilty of ending the Wood bloodline by doing this to me with a lot of medical help and very seriously deranged pieces of shit lowlives who they feed drugs to fucking torture victims for them so they can play Pontius Pilates. I spoke up to try to save lives in NAPANEE, and as a result, everything that's been done to me, I've been blamed for. Lies about being suicidal, self-harmer, lies about drugs. So congratulations, I guarantee you when this is fully finished on me and I am framed, I disappear, and I say that without any kind of paranoia, I say that with proof. Those kind of bullshit narratives will be used against me to cover it up. The lies about drugs, which I do not do, or the lies of being of suicide, which I sure the fuck am not in any way, shape, or form. I am about life in every way, shape, or form. Not harming myself in any way, shape, or form. So that lie's been cast against me, and whoever said it, go fuck yourself, you terrorist. Whether it was Stacy, the mental health worker, or whether it was OPP casting those lies, go fuck yourself. You are very seriously dangerous people who think you are above the law because you are untouchable. How many others have been murdered? How many others have been tortured and deformed? How many others have been through full physical identity theft at your hands? And criminal doctors for revenge retaliation, and your fucking inmate junkie pieces of shit who have immunity through you because they work with them for you now. 5 years is gone, time has been bought. As I said, when people disappear, it is through very seriously criminal Ontario Provincial Police, very serious accomplices, and very seriously dangerous doctors with 100% proof. I have been so mutilated that when I fucking eat now, my food goes to the right side of my body, and it has for a very long, long time. I am being decayed. I am being injured, mutilated. I have shit and piss going through my head, through this fucking tube in my neck that bulges right out all the time. I have air going through me, which leads from my chest up through my neck to the back of my head. No surgeries either. All of this started to happen to me after I was shot by ex-O.p.p chief. And all the other fucking crimes against me will be prevented from getting help by these lowlives because of, once again, a falsified medical file against me through Dr. Tyendinaga Vakadinovic, Lennox and Annington County General Hospital, or Kingston, Queens. I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 years prior to being shot, and no shit happening to me with proof, while being called delusional, hallucinating, retarded liar from doctors who had no concern in wanting to see or do anything because of the lies about me through the falsified file. Once again, this is how they fucking get away with it. So poor, elderly, homeless, disabled, I would beware. They're also causing murders and committing insurance frauds, taking insurance policies out on their victims and collecting against them, completely, totally deforming their deforming their victims to look like inmates, putting illegal prisoner tracking on victims to frame them, illegally arresting them to get pictures, prints, signatures, to frame them, to fuck them over, trying to use that fucking criminal narrative against your victims to keep them from help once again, in hopes of discrediting them while they're being tortured and not being able to get any fucking help through criminal doctors from lies, while you use your badges, your positions, your lies, your false guise of law to get away with the fucking crimes. All it takes is the flash of a badge through a doctor in NAPANEE, Tyendinaga Vakadinovic, and your life is fucking ruined. I am the end of my bloodline as well. No criminal record, no criminal history with anyone named prior to being shot. And me speaking of their crimes, and all of this happened to me with proof. So be very careful, people. Damage is done to me, and there's not a fucking thing I can do because nobody is arrestable. And I cannot get medical help, but it would do no good because the fucking damages are done to me. Complete total hypoxia. My full right side is totally fucked. My right brain was injured. My left brain is now being completely and totally numbed. I get burning all the time. I get piss and shit going through my fucking head and my face through this tube in my neck, which bulges out. I never had that before, and it sure the hell is not normal. This is how my skull is being softened, and this is how my skull is being deformed. And they are fucking getting away with it. I guarantee you I am not the only one. So congratulations, Ontario Provincial Police. You've proven you are very seriously dangerous and just what you are truly about and what you will do to get away with your crimes, along with the Lennox and Annington County General Hospital doctors who need to be locked up with Hawkesbury doctor and the female serial killer, Elizabeth Wetlauer or Wetlaufer or whatever her name is, that was just recently caught. Dr. Tyendinaga Vakadinovic, I am the end of my bloodline, so you are a mass murderer by doing what you've done to me and aiding everybody for 5 years to accomplish this against me. I look nothing like I used to. Absolutely fucking nothing. And it has nothing to do with age or anything else. I've been through serious full skull deforming, skull splitting, and facial changes, identity theft, identity stolen. As I said, when people disappear, it is through criminal fucking doctors and the cops and their accomplices. There's also a guy that's involved too. He lives in Deserano and very close to where I am. And he has family members that are police as well, and he is involved. Look at that. I go through this on a daily basis from these pieces of shit. And I have shown and proven how it's being done to me as well, too. They're all child grooming, sex offending, low-life fucking junkie pieces of garbage who are nothing more than OPP accomplices and co-offenders. Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Blair Hardy, Jason Benalstein, Tyler Lake, Robert Kane's number one fucking rat informant, lowlife, and they're all getting free drugs and immunity drop charges for aiding OPP in their crimes. I'm going to get off here. I hope this is seen. I hope this is shared. I hope this is liked because it helps get it out more for me, because this is very serious and my life and bloodline are depending on this, as I am the end of my bloodline. And everything I said, 100% truth, 100% provable, 100%. Beware of this. Be safe. Love all, hate none. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe, especially share. I am Chris Wood. I am the end of my bloodline, and I am a 5-year revenge, full physical identity theft, brain injury, torture, mutilation, slave traffic, attempted murder victim, along with my mother and my dogs. For me, speaking of OPP crimes in NAPANEE, Ontario, Canada. While medically blacklisted, this is how they assure their crimes.